guys are working. Hey, Carmen, how's it going? Yeah, can't stay away forever. Had to get a little bit done. This is one of the few times when my buddy that I've been gaming with like a fiend is working and I am not, so I wanted to take advantage of the time. Hey, Joseph. Because I don't want to stop doing this. That way, nothing gets done for Halloween's. Alright, so we got paper resource, paper strips. And we're going to get working on... Pardon. Today, we're going to cook on, hopefully, what's going to be my first Groundbreaker. After I'm now a few pencils, I got up recently and I'm a little hungry. Again, I wanted to get some work done before my buddy gets home and we start playing Fallout 76 again. I don't want to stop doing Halloween stuff and project-y stuff and artsy stuff. So first things first, I need some dimensions for this thing. I'm going to use me as a dimensional thing. I'm going to do a torso. Torso coming out of the ground. Torso coming out of the ground is probably total length of backbone to spinal of 23 inches. Okay. Yeah, Brian, it's one of the great challenges, as you know, of a tight space is that you gotta continually at least try to pick up after one project. So yeah, have enough space for the next. Storm on over. Alright. 23-inch spinal column. 3/4 inch PVC. Alright, and this was spine to neck. Oh yeah, it was going to happen. It was just a matter of, I didn't have any projects active at the time. And that was the killer. I'm going to extend it just a little bit. I don't want this thing to be too short. We may have to bend the pipe. So here is my spinal piece. Sharp, sharp, sharpie. Echo, play my album Pumpkin Town.
Your album, Pumpkin Town, on Amazon Music.
Spine. Alright, the spine will be set up in the ground with either a rebar stake or a wooden stake to keep this guy up. Alright, shoulder to spine connection. Going to be approximately, let's joint that. There you go. On me, it's about 10 inches. We'll exaggerate it slightly and make it 11. That seems a little bit wide. Especially considering I'm going to ribcage this and the arms are going to be out at a 45-degree angle on either side. Seven should be all right. Let's take it 8, and that way the crossbeam should make it a 9, and that'll be fine. I should probably write some measurements on here in the future, in case I know. Spine 23. Left and right arm 8 inches. Left and right cat. All right. And I have to remember to be ready to screw up on this, because I've never made a groundbreaker before. So there's gonna be screw ups. I have to learn to embrace the screw ups. How's it going, Jim? This could just also tell me how much PVC I need for one of these guys. Alright. Shoulder. Eight inches. Upper arm. See. Socket there. It's about 9 inches, 10 inches. I could probably look up the golden ratio, because that's about what it is, but honestly, it's just easier to measure the darn thing. Yeah, it's about 9 to 10 inches. I might cheat a little bit. Make it 10, 11, so his arms are a little abnormally long. 10. I'll make his arms 21 inches long. And then the hand on top of that. Starting work on my first Groundbreaker ever. Let's make his arms a little long. Let's do 10 and 11. Two 10-inch sections. Uh-oh. Well, sleep well, Joseph. Upper arm 1. Upper arm 2. Upper arm 10 inches. Hey, Pearl, how's it going? Upper arm 10 inches. Forearm 11 inches. Golden ratio is right around 0.57 anyway, so. Forearm. Inches. Forearm. 11 inches. Trying to get back into things. I don't want to let this go. And if you don't have a project to do, you sit in limbo going, I don't know what to do next. And that's what I was starting to do. So it's one of those, start something, start anything, just start. It's just one of those, get going. How's it going, Larry? Sorry to hear the news, man. Forearm, 11 inches. To see how I want the hands. Tree projects are interesting. Alright, spine. Oh. Let's give ourselves about 4 inches of spine. 4 inches of neck. In fact, let's give ourselves 5 inches of neck. That way, if we have to adjust it, it's no big deal. Now, some rough news. 5 inches of neck. I can heat gun the PVC and compromise. 4.5 inches of neck. Spine. Neck. Okay. Hey, Margaret, how's it going? Let's get a glimpse of how this little stick figure is going to stick. Awesome. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good. So, spine, cross piece, neck. Shoulder. Other shoulder. Upper arm. Okay, it's very wide. It's incredibly, incredibly wide. So that's why I got some 90s. Alright. Bonjour, François. I'm thinking I'm going to start off with a PVC skull, just because I want to keep my first one simple. And once I get the hang of the bodies, then we're going to go and do a full pumpkin head. We're gonna have to do something with these shoulders. I don't know if it's like the shoulder seam. Yeah, I think that's the problem. The shoulders seem a little too wide. Let's take those in by about 1 inch. Just seems too bulky for a skeleton type affair, or a wood white. code. Creatures of the haunting outer darkness are not known for their robust, fleshy appearance. Alright, that seems much better. We should probably be recording some of this for posterity and a reproducibility. Oh yeah, PVC cutter is one of the best tools for working with PVC. Otherwise you got to get a hacksaw or some other saw, and it just means little PVC pieces everywhere. You cannot go wrong with a PVC cutter. There we go. Okay, so we got 23, 7, 7, 10, 11. PVC cutters, available in many hardware shops. Nice clean edges every time. No fuzzies all over the place. Alright, so let's concentrate on the chest today. I don't know if I should cheat on the chest and throw a T-section sternum out there, or if I should try to make a floating ribcage. I really think a cheating chest T-section will make my life so much easier. Let's see if I've got two T-sections here. Yep, I have two T-sections. Because I planned ahead. Not really, I threw a whole bunch of parts in a sack, praying to God I would have what I needed when I got down to building this sucker. Alright. Easy might not be fun, but easy is far less tempestuous. Alright. So if this is his ribcagey area, then I'm going to have ribs going out. Yeah, and the sternum is going to be right about here. The sternum should sit just below. I need to look at a skeleton picture. My God. Okay. Let's go get, or even better yet, I've got that other skeleton. Hell, I don't even need that. I can look at one of the tiny little fake Woobajubes. These guys are starting their modeling career today. Alright. Obviously they are as fake gets, but they can at least describe the proportions fairly adequately. Alright, I want the ribcage to be ending by about here. So stuff will be swooping around back to about that point. Certainly no further down than that. I agree, Sam. So my breastbone should be about here. And it should be from just below here to, oh, maybe there. Whew. Hey Juju, how's it going? I'm working on it. Trying to get it all going. I gotta make the text size bigger on the Twitch chat. Trying to decide how big the breastbone should be on this beast.
Meow! Meow, fuzzy cat! Hello! Good boy. Yeah. Yes, Fuzzy Bear. Good boy.
Okay. Alright. Alright. Let's just do it. Let's stop screwing around and just do it. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, so we need to put in my cheating section here. I'm going to take the arms off, because the arms are going to be their own separate projects. This thing has to be disassemblable. So, here's the arms. We'll work on them separately. I want my cheat to be up here. Yeah, this will definitely not be an animatronic. This is going to be a stationary prop because it's going to be my first. Alright, how far out should the ribcage be? How deep? Thinking about that deep, so I need about ribcage should be that deep. Need another 4.5 inch section of PVC. First we're going to try a stationary one, and then we're going to get into others. And again, I plan on this one being a screw-up, so it's going to be a fun to make artistic screw-up, because your first one is always a screw-up. So just learn to live with it and enjoy the fact. Head, armpits, waist. Knees. It probably does, Nichu, but that's if I wasn't just eyeballing everything right now. Alright, breastbone to there-ish. I'm having a feeling that I made the ribcage too deep. I need another. Oh, that farish. On the top. Breastbone, and that definitely seems a little too deep to me. I also don't want this guy stooping forward because you won't see him. Let's close that rib cage up maybe another inch. I may have to extend the forearms to compensate for that a little bit, or bend these around, but that should be okay. Okay. Now what? Actually, I don't have a sound request in here at all, Choo-Choo. Let's see here. I did not, Gina. Generally, after Halloween, I just kind of let all my circuits cool down. I usually only get the bug around June. This is actually starting very early for me. Yeah, if I had a big enough Twitch presence, Nuchu, I'd worry about the bots and all that, but my footprint on Twitch is very, very small. So, I generally don't sweat it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The number of ribs really doesn't freaking matter at all. So how are we going to do the ribs? I have that beautiful spool of very thick cable, which is what I'm planning on using.
Okay.
Problem is that cable is looped and I'm really going to have to jostle the camera to pull it out. Because one of the camera legs goes right through the middle of the reel. I'm going to need the breaker here. Yeah, well, most people don't know how many ribs a skeleton actually has, and I haven't taken the time and effort to count them precisely. Plus, this is going to be more of a woods wight than a skeleton anyway.
Wow. Good cat.
I'm thinking I've got the breastbone the way I like it. I'm a little concerned over the depth of the rib cage. I'm going to throw the arms back on here. They don't fall on the ground. I'm really thinking I'm going to need the heat gun to get these things into some less standard frame shapes. PVC frame is nice and light and sturdy though. Alright, so for the ribs we're going to need to take... Yeah, we're just going to need to take the loops of wire, put them in place. I don't know how well they're going to want to stay is the problem. It's good wire. We're going to be looping from there to there. They're going to want to droop down. That is going to be the pain in the butt. We can take a loop of cord on here and use that to keep them up without a problem. Now I can disguise that as ligament very, very easily. Alright, well, don't sweat it, just do it. This is the first one, we're going to screw it up. Let's screw it up! Yeah, clear fishing line would also hold it up. Hips, this isn't hips. This is just a torso. This is a groundbreaker. I am not doing a full skeleton. I own lots of full skeletons for full skeletoning. Alright, so I have wire clippers. I am probably going to need my drill. So, give me a second. I need to grab the drill. Oh, there's the drill. Okay, never mind. Drill's right here. What I'm really going to need to do, though, is I'm going to need... I'm going to need to get this spool of heavy cable out, so I'm going to have to move the camera quite a bit for that. We're going on a ride! Woo! Oh my god, I forgot this stuff. I haven't pulled this stuff out of here in years. I was afraid of that. Okay. Okay, we have a problem. The thing, because I haven't moved it in years, it has become a little bit more entangled in the cables of the crafting area than I had ever originally intended. Whew. Oh dear. It's really good cable. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Alright, let's get every power cable the hell away. Every power cable and broadcast cable the hell away from this thing. What does this go to? This goes to the monitor. Perils of storage. There we go. God's alive. Come here. Alright, let me hop on that. And that. Okay. Alright, we have extracted it. Ish. Alright, now let's get the camera back in place. Alright. Must not be umbrella. There it is. Okay. Okay. So here is the rib cables. The big question being, how much rib cable do I require for each rib? How many ribs am I actually going to put into this thing? Why did I put electric tape on this? I have not used this stuff since I made that paper mache hand many years ago. But fortunately, I have a lot of it. Okay. So, let's... What am I hitting? How could I possibly be screwing that up? Ah! How did that bugger that up? Oh. Alright, get this thing under cover. Jeebus, apparently the tightest, lightest little touch on that screws up the camera. No, I don't need to clean it. I need to have a bigger one. I only have so much storage space. That's the problem. Trying to put all these tools in something the size of half a closet. Doesn't lend itself very well. Alright, so let's just grab a giant piece to start with. Not like I'm going to run out here anytime soon. first rib. Whew, it's got to go in. I kind of want to just attach the first rib. Collarbones I'll do separately with other pieces. But I kind of want to take this around. I can use a lot of this initial framework here for support because I can attach it right to it as it starts its first curve. Okay, if I cut... Come on, stop it. Hole there, enough for this to bend all the way around and back in. If I cut to here, I should have enough for this first rib. Well, no one's going to see the precise shape of the ribs under the mache and other stuff, so I'm really not hideously worried about that. And honestly, if it looks a little disjointed, that's fine. I mean, actual ribs always dip down a bit. The bend is going to be tighter. And something happened to the Facebook chat. Oh, maybe the people left. It's no problem. Okay. It's getting better. It's getting better. That's pretty good. I think that with a drill hole and a stuff, I can make that work. Okay. Goes down there. Drill is there. Need a drill bit for this stuff. Probably ought to start heating up a hot glue gun. Probably ought to keep the stuff here. Nah, I got this. Famous last words. It's fine, I got it. Hold my beer, I'm about to build a Groundbreaker. Woo! Alright, PVC cutters. Let's get a drill bit that will like this wire perfectly. Really close to perfectly. 5:30 seconds, that sounds like the measurement it is. Kind of like this music for this, and as much as it is Halloween-y, it is also vaguely Christmassy too. Yeah, it also does kind of have that RPG, you're in a town music vibe. You know, I should probably glue these section in here with contact adhesive first. But this wouldn't be the first time I made a calamitous mistake. I really just want to see how well this will hold as well. Let's see how far in the... Yeah, this will augment it. Alright, well, here we go. I really don't like the fact that this is going to be an angled insert as well. There we go. That. Alright, that will go in just underneath the top of this. Oh, we're going to be making fuzzies. Let's make sure that... Yep. I could probably get away with one size smaller if I had to. I think the wire is really sturdy though. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. He said just before it went somewhere.
I know what happened. The internal hole didn't synchronize.
Yeah, we're going to have to contact cement this whole thing before we get really drilling and going. Because otherwise these things won't line up. Okay, so for this rib, I can cut that off approximately here.
Sharpie. Whence fled the Sharpie to?
I'm not going to use a base for this particular one just because this is the prototype. So this one will either use a stake of the ground that the PVC will just slide over, or a piece of rebar secure. Because bases can, one, get complicated, two, they cannot match the grass that we'll be dumping these into. And if I just slide it into a piece of ground, that'll be definitively easy. I'm glad that folks find it simple. Whew. I'm gonna find a better way to cut that, or a bigger set of wire cutters. Okay, so let's get this side fully in. This is probably 8-gauge wire, I am guessing. Okay, and there would be the first rib. And then once the ribs are in, that's pretty sturdy. This, I don't think a paper would cause that to go too far out of whack. Of course, the bigger the rib and the more flex you got on it, the more out it has the potential to go. But if you add a little cross bracing here and there, especially with witchwood pieces, then they're not going to go anywhere. They'll all be interlinked and connected. Alright, we'll probably need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 ribs per side to give it a good go. But I am going to see if I can dig up some contact cement and get this center line glued or affixed in some way, because this has to be locked with the breastbone and everything. There's no way around it. Especially if you drill into those T-sections, you are drilling into the internal piece as well, and they have to line up. You could indeed. Absolutely, Nuchu. I could, but a lot of this is going to be very, very disassemblable. So what I'm going to be able to do is I'll be able to work on the torso, then I'm going to be able to work on the arms, I'll be able to work on the head, and in the end, this whole guy here should break down into torso, head, and arms for easy storage. So, I'm not too worried about holding up. The other problem with temporarily holding up is that he'll be off camera, and I have to do it, and I have to work up here, and I'd rather work down here at, you know, my arm level. Let's see if I got some contact cement. Should. All-purpose cement. Alright, now bear in mind I haven't opened this all-purpose cement in about 4 years, at least, so. Hey Danielle, how's it going? Let's see if it's still, seems like it's still smelling awful and sticky. And my Sharpie fell on the floor. Okay, so we are going to start getting this thing adhesed together. Start with the element that's most critical because I've already put a hole in it. Granted, it would be incredibly easy just to put another hole in it. I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. Alright. Here, all-purpose cement. Goopy. these huge wobbly blobs. I'll make sure that this is adhesed on. It's hard to be conservative with this stuff. It also smells foul. It is reminiscent of getting snot all over the project. I think I put the wrong side on. Yuck. Yes, I did. Ew. Oh my word. That bonded fast. Oh. Okay, his breastbone's going to be a little off to the side. Keep forgetting it's PVC contact cement, so this stuff really pardon, grabs PVC quickly. Woo! Yeah, definitely some stank to it. Well, like we said, first one was not going to be perfect, and there was nothing for that. This is the experimental run. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be a Groundbreaker. That's the goal. Ooh, volatile organics. Very volatile organics. Oh, it's probably going to be more of a woods white than a skeleton. I have real skeletons. I have no intention of making this one look that way. This will be a wood creature. Alright, so that's all set. I'm not going to do the neck yet, because I may need to adjust that later. But let's see what we got here. There's rib 1. Which probably could be bent up. Yep. Alright. So that's rib 1. Let's make a copy of rib 1. That in a minute. Come here, rib 1. Let's make a copy of you. Let's also take this piece of PVC and move it out of the project area. Back. Oh, it's not going to be outside the entire season. By no means. Because this is going to be covered with witchwood and have internal lighting and a battery pack. So this will be one of those we put it out the day of or day before Halloween. That's a pretty fair copy. Let's give ourselves an extra centimeter. Oh my god. Come on. Oh! Bigger cutters needed. Plate. Get away. Of course you're going to fall down. Why wouldn't you fall down? Okay. Whew. Yep. Big bang boom. Ricochet ribs. Sounds like something you get at a specialized, Tex-Mex restaurant. And our special tonight is ricochet ribs. Yep, probably have to get 12 of them. Not too worried about that though. Welcome to the restaurant. Hummingbird and ricochet rib tonight. I wouldn't mind tasting a ricochet rib. I'd order that if it was on the menu. There we go. Alright, let's put these two both in there about halfway. In fact, we can just collapse them right in. Big bang boom. shove them in there all the way so they're well balanced and rocked. And there's the first set of ribs. And they are pretty sturdy. I think I'll bend them up a little bit so I can attach them to the underside of the shoulder armature, but not displeased with that at all. Not bad considering I'm doing this all just by eyeballing it and rough guess. Alright. Let's use my favorite fixative. Little don't go nowhere hot glue. Because I can on this one at least, we'll hot glue them together on the inside too. One. Well, yeah, but you know, true, with anybody who does Halloween is going to take a look for a second, and they're going to be like, all right, so thing, round, cross piece. Most cross pieces are used for, you know, armatures for ghouls and whatnot. So cross piece, oh, it's probably a skeleton armature. Any Halloweenophile will be able to get it within a couple minutes. Let's move these paints out of the staging area. Good. Okay. Next. These guys can also go out of the staging area. Their job is done. Okay. Echo, play my album Pumpkin Town.
Your album, Pumpkin Town, on Amazon Music.
Woo. Echo, loop.
Loop mode on.
Echo, shuffle.
Turning on shuffle mode.
Echo, next track. And now we're random. Alright, next thing. Yep, gotta repeat it. So this last piece of wire was approximately inside there a little bit, so approximately that's a foot. Last one was approximately 13 inches, so let's get a 14.5-inch piece of wire. I can always cut it shorter. No, let's get a 15-inch and then we'll cut it shorter if we need to. When we need to, because we're going to need to. times. Alright, 15-inch piece of wire. Really? That's how big it is? I'm grabbing 16 inches. 15 just seems way too small. Grabbing 17. I will either learn to not second guess myself, or bigger cutters, bigger cutters. I'm really glad that I have like 100 feet of this wire easily. Bring it back. One of the best Lowe's purchases I ever made. Let's shape us a rib. Alright, next one's going to be about there to about there. In fact, we got to get a preemptive idea of just where these things are going to be going. We're going to have 6 ribs. Guessing. So there's rib 1. Here's rib 2. It'll be about there to about there. Rib 3. About there to about there. Rib 4 might only go 5 ribs. About there to about there, and then one on the bottom. Yeah. Yep. I don't really feel the need to go crazy with this. It just has to suggest ribs. Doesn't have to be anatomically correct. Excellent, Daniel. Sorry, I missed that a little bit ago. Life-size Jack. Jack probably about 8-9 foot tall. I would guess easily about that much. It's unfortunate this is kind of the boring part of this whole... Well, one of the boring parts. The fun part will be the mache texture and ultimate stuff. I wonder how much hiding of the fact that there's a big support structure between the breastbone and chest I'll have to do. Actually, I won't have to do much at all because I'm going to make it a part of the whole thing. I figure I can just drill right through to the other side. Two holes at once. Whoa! Yeah, I'm glad I went 17. So you should increase your rib size by approximately 2 inches per, if you can. Or not, because my ribs are now kind of bowing out. But you can't really tell, so who the hell cares? So these will be up further. This will be down. Yeah. Okay. That was 17. These next ones should probably be some of the widest ribs. So 17. Now if I do 17 again, they'll come out about the same way. Let's not do too much wider. Let's do like an 18. I don't want them bowed out hideously. Actually, no, you know, the problem is not that. The problem is my curve. My curve is not steep enough, and that is the problem. It's not the rib length. Oh. Let's try this. Yeah, it's the curve. Okay. Important safety tip. Back to you, gun. His ribs are far more horseshoe shaped than human ribs. Cool. Alright, let's anchor him. Okay. Next. Let's do... go. Last rib was 17. This should be one of the bigger ones. This one should be 19. Actually, 17 came out on this side. Let's do 17 again. I don't want to get really whacked out here. Don't hit the camera. Alright, about there. Oh. Honestly, this isn't too hard, which is kind of nice. I thought this step, or all these steps, would be a lot more of a pain in the pattuckus. Pardon. I cut through this tape earlier. Come on. Woo! Honestly, this is remarkably easy. Alright, next set should be a little smaller. maybe I will end up doing 6. I'm losing breastbone attachment spots. I'll just give these a down flex so they cover more area. The next ones will down flex more, and then the last ones will down flex very heavily. That's probably the best bet. Whew. Yeah, no more size increase. In fact, we'll start doing a size decrease. So it was about 14 and a half, 16, 17. I'm probably going to go down to like maybe 16 or so, 15, and then back to like a 14er. We gotta take some measurements for posterity here. Alright, gotta flex this one up so I can actually make the drill cut. There we go, we got a better grip on that. May as well put the last hole in. While we're drilling, be really careful here. While I wouldn't mind a floating rib, you just lose a lot of the strength potential on it because it won't have anything to hold on to. You'd have to build in a support. I'm really not looking to make this project any more complicated than it has to be. Then we'll have to start thinking about the electronics because I want this chest here to be all aglow. I'm thinking I'm going to use some of those things, and rather than try to hide this support is going to be its heart. I'm going to wrap all my lights right around this support. So this thing is going to be glowing. So it's going to be not so much that, oh, I have to hide it. No, this is the thing that is the light source. And that should make the job a lot easier. There's nothing to hide. It's supposed to be there. It just happens to also be a structural support too. Alright, so let's also hot glue these. Give them a little bit of don't want to go anywhere, although, as we all know, hot glue is not exactly the crude adhesive for something like this, particularly on PVC. Just enough to make it not want to pop out. Alright, so this was 17 and a half. Let's go down to 16 and then like a 14. So 2 16s, 2 14s. 2/16. Could also get a Dremel with a cutoff wheel, but they have hot metal sparks flying. If I didn't have a lot of hand strength, though, I would not want to do this with these cutters. As many as I feel like, Nichu. We'll see how the prototype goes. Gah! Let's do a little posterity recording. Reproducibility. Because when this thing is all skinned up, set, done, and whatnot, I won't be wanting to do more. Alright, so far I've used 2 45s and 2 Ts. Cross piece 1 45 2, actually plus the 2 arms, approximately 4 T sections. 2 breastbone is a 2.5. 2.5 T-pipe, and then a 4-inch section. My breastbone is about a 5-inch piece. 5-inch deep. The ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done 5 ribs. 14.5, 217, or 17, 17.5. I just did a 16 and a 14.5. Yeehaw. Well, that I'm going to try to remember when I get to Lowe's this weekend, because I gotta get projects for my class. They need arrows for their bows. And while I am there getting that, I'm probably going to get myself a larger set of wire cutters. thinking I will also probably end up epoxying the ribs in place if I like their configuration. Because hot glue is good and fun, but hot glue does not have a lot of holding power. And epoxy resin just does not ever let go. Hey, Mudflap, how's it going? Alright. Now let's just modulate the rib cage. You know, I hadn't fully considered it at the moment. I'm probably just going to do a layer of tape, a layer of mached paper, and then I'm probably going to just do cotton witchwood, because I think that'll look a hell of a lot more woodsy. But there's your initial right there, and that is disgustingly easy to do. It only took me the time it did because I'd never done it before, but now I got all the measurements. I could have clipped this up, snapped out all my rib pieces, and had this knocked together in about 45 minutes. And that is just simple, simple, simple. Yep, that's not too bad. And the only thing I'm considering now is how you'd want it actually positioned. Because you might want your skeleton not to be standing ramrod straight, but you might want your skeleton arced back a little bit, in which case I'd take a heat gun to a section here, and I'd give a little arch to the back, and I would flex it a bit. And all that remains at this point for, apart from the main body structure, is a collarbone piece or two. And what I might do is I might take some 1/2-inch PVC and just lay it from, you know, edge of the shoulder blade to breastbone, and give myself a collarbone support structure. Maybe give them a little bit of heat distortion. But that's a quick, simple kaboom. And then the lights that are going to be in the chest are going to get wrapped around this central support. So rather than trying to go, oh, how am I going to hide it? How am I going to? I'm not. I'm going to have it blazing with light. So how am I going to hide it? You don't hide the dark, evil heart that is pulsing green light out there. And what I'll probably do after I put the green lights around it is I'll just take some of the fluff and put that around them and diffuse the light like I did on the witchwood orbs. And it's waterproof, and now we'll have this glowing green evil heart. Simple, easy, done. Yeah, well, with the ones I use, you just use the remote. You want it to be, you know, red, click, now it's red. Done. Yep. So at this point, I'm probably going to, I'm gonna call it for today, because this was good initial work, and I'm back and I'm at it, and I have a project. But we got to epoxy these rib connections We got to flex them down into place. Then they all need a layer of masking tape because I don't want metal exposed to wet mache, because even if it starts to get a layer of rust, any atmospheric moisture that gets in there, I might even paint just a quick layer of sealer or give them a quick spray just to reduce the likelihood that rust will start to build up on succeeding years as moisture seeps into the project. Another thing I'll probably do in that regard is I'll probably cut right here and build a connector in, and I will seal this internal section. I'll put a plug here, plug on top, I'll put a plug just under the neck, I'll plug in the arms, so this whole section can't have moisture getting into these internal sections and have rust starting to creep in here, or have this suddenly become an insect home or anything like that. So that'll just be long-term prop longevity stuff. So we'll plug this internal section. I think I've got a connector in the parts. Come to think of it, I might be able to do that right now. Wiring. That's a good question. That's weird, I don't have a coupler at all. I do not plan on running the wiring inside the pipe, because you might need to change that thing at some point, and if it's inside the pipe, you'll have to dismantle and rip the whole prop apart to do it. So, in all likelihood, I will probably have what I might do with this is I might even be able to install the lighting almost last. I'll have a witchwood section going across here that is, or just a black section, and there'll be, because this thing has to be disassemblable, and the way I want to do that is I want to take, can't believe I don't have a piece of loose burlap around here. Weird. Alright, so we're going to imagine this sponge here is loose burlap. I want to take loose burlap and have it attached over these joints so that when you disassemble it and reassemble it, the joint couplings are hidden by the burlap flap, so nobody sees it, and when you're putting it together, it's just, okay, attach the arm, there'll be a pin to put in, and then drape the burlap back over it, and that way when you need to disassemble it, you just flip the burlap up, pull the pin out, arm comes out. I'm probably going to have a similar burlap flap over the back of the thing, and I'll probably have a battery box here, and that'll be where I'll hide the remote and anything else, probably inside of some sort of watertight flip down case. There'll be a hole in the back of that leads to the lighting array, and that way if you ever need to change the lights, you can just rip them off the center section, pull them out the battery section, and it's there. So that'll be easy. It'll look like the remnants of clothes. It'll look, I mean, because my whole haunt is burlap and witchwood, so it's going to look like it's one of us, or it's one of our lesser soldiers because it has less burlap on it than the rest of us do. You know, one of the more decayed and maybe frozen in place creatures of ours. So that's how it should look. Ideally. But yeah, I'll have to get a coupling section here, and then we're going to seal up this whole internal area. And I'm going to get my, in fact, it's another thing I can do right now. You know, I might stand off on that because I might plug this before I seal these shoulder sections in place. So I only have to seal the spine and the breastbone area to stop water from getting into those. Yeah, not bad. Coffee stained cheesecloth. Yeah, that could also work quite well. Yep. Anything to get that way. I can even use just a couple layers of creepy cloth double section. It just has to hide the fact that there's a joint piece that is not fully integrated on there, because that'll give me the disassembly capacity. Yep. And that is the goal for this project ultimately. And the nice thing is I'll be able to work on the torso, I'll be able to work on the head, I'll be able to work on the arms, and then at the end of the project we're going to be like, alright, and let's put it all together. Bing, bang, 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 boom, and like, hey, and here it is. Now let's break it down and put it in its tote. That's the other great key. All this stuff will be break down and storageable. We're definitely going to have to epoxy these in though. But I want to get them in their final configuration. Yeah. I'm very pleased with how this came out. It's incredibly simple to do. If you had the measurements and everything already, you could, like I said, knock this together in about 45 minutes to an hour. Boom. The rest of this is going to be taking quite a bit longer, but the armature is easy, easy, easy. Alright. Well, I'm going to be done for a while because it was 5:02. My cats are getting hungry. I'm getting hungry as well. My buddy is going to be back soon, and we're going to be doing Fallout 76 tonight, all night, I have no doubt. I'm probably going to start streaming on Saturdays in the afternoon more regularly because, again, with the latest Fallout 76 gaming frenzy, this is the time that he is at work and I am not. So most nights we'll be playing, but this time I can be doing this while he is at work, so we are not missing out on vital gaming time. As we become less interested in the game, then I have no doubt I'll be more back to this without a problem. Yes, there's one thing to worry about with coffee stained cheesecloths. If it is too thin, it will flap in the wind and reveal the joints. Although I could take something like these steel balls here. I could easily put these into that cloth at the bottom of it, give it a little weight, and they could stop it from flapping around quite so much. But then you end up with a little bit of sound from time to time. Let's get that back on the project table. There we go. Cool. So I have a new project. It is started. Yay! It's the biggest problem. Is you have to start a project and you have to have something in the works. And then we'll see what else can be done with this creature. He's going to need a skull, and he's going to need... You know, honestly, I'm going to hold off on the head, because if I get the gumption, I may be able to knock together a reduced size pumpkin head for him to mount on there. And if I can, it may not be a bad thing. Go ahead and do it. Well, I'd stream my gaming, but my channel is entirely a, you know, it's a craft channel. So there's so many Fallout 76 streamers. Why? There's a million Fallout 76 streamers. Screw that. Let other people play and watch the games. I'm a crafter. For future projects, Resdoc, yes. For a prototype, I'm just going to have him doing a scary reach out. I'm also going to consider what kind of glow I can extend to his hands. Can I put any kind of electronics up there without it getting overly complicated and weird? I want to examine the level of electronics that can be incorporated and how. I definitely want the glowing heart because that's in all of our skeletons and it's not hard to do. But for lantern holding, we'll see. Prototype's going to be simple. Always do simple on the prototype. And he is the prototype. So. Cool. Alright, gang. Thank you very much, otherwise, for keeping me company. It has been fun to be back. I'm glad to be rocking this again. I'm glad I got a project started. And yeah, look for me on Saturday afternoons. And let's see, we got Christmas break coming in 3 more weeks. I have the week of Christmas off, so during that week I have no doubt I will probably be on at least a few times streaming. And we'll catch you then. All right. Echo! Stop! Take care, everybody. Good to be back. Happy Halloween, even though we're freaking approaching Christmas time. Catch you later.